You know, being a second generation British Muslim, but with a Pakistani heritage, thanks to my parents who migrated here. You know how we all talk about identity crisis. We know that we suffered it, our children suffer it. It's just a thing. Clearly, as you can tell, I'm brown. And I am a proud British Pakistani. But I am also very proud of my ethnicity, my links to my heritage, both in Pakistan and India. I love it, I claim it, I own it. It's all over me. When you hear me speak the Queen's English, you will also hear me speak the Pakistani Urdu. You might hear me speak the Punjabi. Because we are so blessed. We have so many things to be grateful for and thankful for. And then I've just been seeing this black MP who is denying her Nigerianness. She's saying she's just British. She's from Essex. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but is that not just bizarre?
Alright, so Kemi Badenoch claims that she doesn't identify to be Nigerian. Okay, I could understand why she might have said it. Maybe she's looking for some white votes, but I'll tell you where she's totally got all of that wrong. Firstly, you're black. If you're black, you're originally African, not European. Finish. Secondly, your name is Kemi, meaning you're from Nigeria. Specifically, Yoruba, Omo Yoruba. Shongba. Thirdly, you said you went to school in Nigeria and they made you cut grass. Onkpe, I went to school in Nigeria and they made me cut grass. All that teaches you is hard work and discipline. I reckon you're going to need those two qualities if you're looking to be the Prime Minister of this country. So, you got these ones wrong. Sorry, my G. Gang.
Guys, you know how Kemi Badenoch likes to act like she's above everybody else. She's so good. She's so better than everyone else. Oh, I don't like people cheating. I don't like this and that. When I was younger, I used to snitch in school during exams and blah, blah, blah. Kemi, I don't identify as a Nigerian. But when she wanted to get into office, guess who she was pandering to? Guess who she was begging for votes? Guess who she came to? How is she different from the Nigerian politicians she always criticizes? Yes, we know politicians in Nigeria are rubbish. Like, I can't think of a single one that is worth talking about, to be honest. If there is, you can say in comments, but for now, I can't think of any. But she's in no position to talk because she's just exactly like them. When she needed votes, when she needed people to help her get into position, she was pandering to Nigerians. She even took Badenoch out of her name. As you can see, she just went with Kemi Adegoke. So she knows what she's doing. She's just a panderer, and now it suits her. Now she's there. She's the leader of the Conservatives, and she's suddenly no longer Nigerian. She no longer identifies as Nigerian. When she was begging for votes, she runs back to the Nigerians that she's now claiming she's not part of. I mean, everybody has a right to identify as what they want or like, but we all know why she's doing it, and the people she's doing it for don't even like her. All this just shows is that she's no different from the people she always criticizes. She's just a politician at the end of the day. Just as bad as all the other ones who make all these promises, says all these things, and then once they're there, they do a complete 360, because why suddenly is she not identifying as a Nigerian? When she wanted votes, she was Nigerian. She got there, she's no longer Nigerian. We see you, Kemi. We see you. Hope you don't need Nigerians again next time, because we're all going to remember you're not Nigerian.
Kemi is a hero. She got the message. Even though she is born in this country, but raised in Nigeria, she became the grateful migrant. She knows that white Britain likes the grateful migrant. She ran away from Nigeria. The traumatization of too many mosquitoes. Poor girl. And white Britain took her in. So even though she looks African on the outside, they put whiteness inside her. That's right. That's right. That is not racism. No, that is blackface. That is the new kind of blackface. That's right. The only way is up for Kemi. She understands how the system works. Kemi is going for Prime Minister, so please get out of her way. If you're black British looking for reparation, go and repair yourself, or Kemi is not the one for you. If you're black British fighting systemic injustice, Kemi is not the one for you. Get out of her way. I beg, Kemi only has one message for all you black British people. I'm unavailable. Them know they see me. I'm unavailable. Them know they see me. I'm unavailable.
You want power. Some of the people who can give you power don't like black people. So you have to try and distance yourself. I'm not Nigerian. I'm not one of them. Those people from the jungle. I'm like you, mate. Yeah? I just got a tan. It's like, you went to Cyprus. No, you don't like to travel because you're racist. It's like if you went to Peterborough on a hot day and you got a tan. Yeah? I'm just like you, mate. I'm not one of them.
Anybody who denies her ancestry, denies her people, is not someone that any other group of people will trust. Okay? I'm talking about Kemi Badenoch, the leader of the Conservatives, who so far have been trying to be more British than the British. Okay? Who has used every opportunity to denigrate her own background because she wants to appeal to the traditional conservative voters. And she's forgetting one thing. Rishi Sunak became the MP of the UK while upholding and respecting his culture. And she thinks that throwing her own people under the bus will make her loved. She doesn't know one thing about people in general, and British in particular. British respect loyalty. Okay? And she also went on to grant an interview recently when she's saying she's a snitch. In school, she snitched on someone doing whatever, and she didn't even get praise. The person was expelled, but she didn't even get praise for it. I was bemused, amazed. Even the interviewer was so flabbergasted that he was speechless. I'm just smiling because another thing the British people don't like is when you want to pretend as if you are, as in you are spotless. Okay, that you are infallible, you have always be perfect. I can tell you that for real. That's why our practices here is based more on reflections. What would you have done better? How would you have done it better? That's why quality control is very important here. That's why auditing a process is very important, because we know that perfection is a myth. But striving for perfection is the culture, okay? Because while striving for perfection, you will improve and improve. And whenever you feel you are perfect, you can't improve again, that's when you start falling. So, it's weird, strange, and funny. And I don't know her handlers, so maybe she doesn't have handlers. Because how on earth does she think that denigrating her? Mind you, let me give you a history of Kemi. Kemi, that is claiming perfectionist. According to records, her family used the loophole on the system to get her to be British. Okay? The loophole then was birthright citizenship. Her family came on visit visa and she was born a citizen. Then I went back to Nigeria, where she had her childhood. It was even when she was older, I can't remember the age, but I guess almost 16 or thereabout. That's when they brought her back to also use the benefits from taxpayers' money, because they didn't pay into the system then. Okay? Gina came back and enjoyed the free education at that level. And that's Kemi by the knock for you. Now, all of a sudden, she doesn't identify as in Nigeria. Why being black? All of a sudden, she's saying that Nigeria has multi-tribes and whatever. You can't identify as a country. But it's the same thing she was identifying as a British. There is no harm loving a country you are based in, respecting their rules, following their culture, and living by the tenets laid down by their leaders of old and present. But there is every problem with you thinking that throwing your country under the bus will get you elected. Let's see how it plays out. But history always repeats itself. And history currently has made it clear that such people never goes far. Good morning, guys.
You know, there was a film called We Need to Talk About Kevin. Today is the day we need to talk about Kemi. We need to talk about Kemi Badenoch. I've been sitting on this one for a while. Now, it's come to my attention that she is obviously a child of immigrants, and she is very anti-immigration. I think she would probably agree with that. So I decided to have a little look into her background, as in how she came to be in this country and how she got her British citizenship. She claims that her mother only came to the UK to use a private medical care, and it had nothing to do with the fact that there was a law that allowed children born in this country to automatically get British citizenship. So she wants me to believe that her parents had no clue, her Nigerian parents had no clue that becoming a British citizen was something that she would get if she was born here. Nada, no clue. As someone who has a Nigerian parent myself, as someone who has spent a lot of time in the Nigerian community, as someone who spent a lot of time in the West African community, I'm going to call bullshit. I'm going to call bullshit. The thing about Kemi is that she was put forward as, I'm a black British woman, and she was put forward as someone who I should be proud of, that she got to this place, and it was very impressive. She's now the leader of the Conservative Party. Great, wonderful. But I am still confused about how, as a child of immigrants who managed to come to this country because of liberal immigration laws, you can now turn around and pull up the drawbridge, shut the doors, and also pretend that your parents just came to use the private medical care. I'm not buying it, I'm afraid. I'm not buying it.